Hey, how's it going? This is Jackal. So, this is my video showcasing the variant of the 725 called Judgment. It is a legendary variant that's not actually legendary, apparently. Must be bugged. So, it's fairly hard, I'd say. Maybe it's definitely not the hardest to get out of all the mission variants, but it's definitely not the easiest. The most annoying one to do is the frag, because the frags would roll away, so you'd have to prime them. You know, you have to cook them for a bit and throw them directly so they blow up on the enemy. The stuns were easiest, I'd say, because you just have to throw a stun at somebody and it counts. And you throw it at a flag that a bunch of people are, you can possibly get 5 stuns with 1. The Molotovs were pretty tricky. I basically ran around holding them in my hand, and I would throw them at people. I died a lot, but, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. The proxy mines were a bit tricky, because a lot of people were smart, which, surprise, surprise, smart people in a Call of Duty game, who would have guessed? Because it would pop up, and they'd go prone, and it wouldn't kill them. So the way I got around that was, which I didn't actually start doing until my last couple of kills, was I would shoot it. So I'd throw it down and I'd sit there and I'd watch it, and when somebody ran in front of it before it popped up, I'd shoot it, it would blow up, and it would get the proxy mine kill. Because a lot of people, they'd hear it pop up and they'd crouch, and if you crouch you don't take as much damage. If you go prone you don't take any damage. And it also made it so that if they had battle hardened or EOD, it would kill them. The Semtexes were pretty easy, because they're easier than the frags, at least, because they don't roll away. And you can stick people with them, which is what I would do, is I would stick people and run away. Stims were pretty simple. You get shot, you pop a stim, and it's usually around 150 health per stim shot. There's a way you could cheese it, kind of, is you'd spawn in, and I did it with a Semtex. You would throw the Semtex at a wall, and you'd stand just close enough, but so you would fuck. Alright, I'm gonna restart that. You'd stand just far enough to where the Semtex wouldn't kill you, but it would just barely keep you alive. And so you'd pop a stim, and it would give you around 150 health each stim. So if you had shrapnel. If you had shrapnel, you'd have two. And you'd get about 300 health, which is a good amount. The throwing knives were pretty simple. I just ran around with them. It took me, I think, 3 games. The first game I got, I think, 13 throwing knife kills, and the second game I got maybe 3. And then the last game I just ran around with a shield, threw knives at people. Thermites were a lot like the throwing knives, because you would throw, your character throws the thermites at people, and if you stick people to them, it wouldn't kill them, but it would burn them out. There were times where I would throw a thermite. You might actually see it in gameplay. Is I would throw a thermite, and somebody on the enemy team would actually run up and stand in it. So I don't know why. Maybe they were trying to help me. I mean, thank you. Less of a headache for me. But thermites were not too tricky. I originally was going to go into ground war and just take out tanks with them, but that would take too long, because then I'd have to... It's ground war. It's a big map. And so let's get to what the shotgun looks like with the variant. So this is what the variant looks like. It has a Cronin LP945 mini reflex. It has a tactical foregrip, a custom forged tack commander barrel. Change that, it changes it. And fragile wounding perk. It doesn't come with a camo, as most of them do. This is what it looks like entirely. It's pretty cool. In the picture, I didn't think it was a 725. I thought it was a for the R90. I thought it was a variant for that, but it's a variant for the 725. So my setup with the 725 is this: to sawed off the Tempest 32 competition, a choke, sleight of hand, and this, which, I mean, with the variant you kind of have that, but this is the one that I would run anyways. So we can get into what it would look like with Chrome and Damascus, 2 camos I probably won't ever get for shotguns. Chrome is very, it's chrome, so it's very shiny. It looks really nice. And then Damascus, which is a camo that I probably won't get for this game. I got Dark Matter in Black Ops 3, and that was a headache. and I can't imagine doing 2 melee weapons, the riot shield and the knife. So, you know, I'd want the camo, but that would be a headache in itself to do. So let's get into the class setup that I would use, which is this. I would use Scavenger because Scavenger, you know, I'd like picking up ammo, and with a throwing knife, when you killed somebody, the Scavenger pack would give you a throwing knife back, which was nice. Along with Restock, which recharges your tactical and your lethal. I would also use stun grenades almost all the time, unless I was working on the stim, which this class I was actually working on the stim. Stun grenade's great because it makes people, on PC at least, it makes people completely useless for about 10 seconds unless you're using battle hardened. I wish they'd turn down stun grenades because they're pretty overpowered, because on PC at least you're completely useless, like 5 or 8 seconds. So Restock was nice because that would help, because you throw it into a room, you'd run in, and you'd get it quick. You know, you'd stick them with a molly, a thermite, a throwing knife, a semtax, you know. And it was great because you'd have it recharge every 30 seconds. It also depended on the lethal and the tactical that Restock did. So stims regen the quickest, I think. I think it was around 5 to 8 seconds for a stim shot, and then all the like grenades and stuff were the full 30 seconds. Of course, I did from time to time throw down an ammo box just to replenish quicker on that. And then shrapnel, because you get 2 lethals, which really helped in this whole grind. It also delays enemy health regeneration, which I guess matters, because you could throw, if you were working on the molly, you'd throw it into a room and then they wouldn't have health. You had time to, you know, throw another one at them. But the way I did mollies, I just ran around with them. I guess that's what I did with everything. So the rest of the video is basically going to be me getting all the kills with all the lethals up to, I started recording them at the Molotovs. I finished the Molotovs, I got the last 2, and then I recorded all of them. Obviously the stims aren't shown because that would just be boring to see me just in a corner popping a stim. I did throw in a clip of me showing off the stim cheese, is what I called it, because it gave you around 300 health per stim, or not, per 2 stims, should I say. So that's the rest of the video, is just me getting a bunch of lethal kills. Probably not entertaining, but I'll show you one last time what the shotgun looks like. It looks really cool. Probably my favorite variant I have. Then again, I only have 3 variants, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed. So I'll catch you in the next one. If you have any questions, say so in the comments, and subscribe. That'd be nice. Alright, talk to you later.
Ours. No read. Phase almost finished. Losing A. We're taking Charlie. Securing Bravo.
Check your fire!